So do it yourself. That's the best way we're going to get maths going. Let's do this, guys. I want you to try this one by yourself, 2a. I'm going to give you, let's say, a minute. We don't need more than a minute. This looks super long, but if you take out all those brackets and unnecessary signs, then you're going to be done in no time at all.
Oh, Little Maths 24 is just for fun. So it's okay. You'll have Maths 24 next week, I promise. I see all those hardworking faces, guys. Let's do it. Boka, you are writing, right? Bokomuso. Let's write. Let's write. The 1 minute is going. Let's go, my people. Oh, we are back, guys.
All right. So what I'm going to do, what I always find easiest is to let's just start at the left. Okay. So we have to multiply these two. So if we can start multiplying them, then we will end up getting rid of the brackets at least, and we will find minus negative 3y. Now we still have multiplied by y again. And then we have a negative. Now, this is something that I'm going to reiterate again that I know you have heard before. Signs like plus and minus divide terms, okay? So we know that this minus sign here is dividing the term, okay? So let me put the minus here in the middle, and then we know that the rest is going to be separate. We have again, let's make this yellow, y times brackets negative 2. We're going to do the same as we did in the beginning. We just put the negative in front, negative 2, and the y can go stand right next to that. Close the bracket, multiplied by y again. And here we have another plus. That means another different term, y squared. All right. Let's have a look at what we are facing next. So we know that we can multiply these two together. But before we do that, I mean, we will be doing that. But another thing that we can do is here. Let me circle. These two negatives are now standing next to each other, one just in front of the bracket and one just inside of the bracket, which means we will have to multiply the negative into the brackets, okay? If we multiply two negatives, let me get my chat out, and then I want to see in the chat, what will we get when we multiply two negatives? A positive, well done. Okay, getting my pen back, equal. Now I'm going to do this all, I'm going to have a lot of stuff going on in this next step. So let's start with this first part that I highlighted yellow. We already have this negative 3. That's not going to change. Now the y, we're multiplying with another y. Let's do this again in the chat. What do we get if we multiply y by y? Y multiplied with y squared. Excellent. So we're going to have y squared. Now, these terms are not adding yet. We can't add them yet because we have these terms are not like yet. but we're going to focus on this blue circle now, where we already answered. Negative times negative is going to give us a positive. And the 2 remains the same. There's nothing multiplying with the 2 that's going to change the 2. But let's look just outside of this bracket. I'm going to use my green. We have this y, and just outside of the bracket, we have multiplying by another y. Once again, it's still in the chat. You want to, you can give it to me again in the chat. We're going to have y squared. All right. Now we left with this little bit here again. I'm just going to remember to bring that down, plus y squared. Okay. Now this is already looking a lot simpler than it did when we looked at it first. But are we now in the chat, please? These are we have 1, 2, 3 terms in this step that we just did. Can we add them up? Yes or no? I'd like to have in the chat, yes or no. Can we add these terms? Yes, yes, yes. We can add them. Well done. I'm just checking to see if everybody's on the same page as I am. We can add them because they are all like. They are all like terms. Nothing is funny about them. There's no x, there's no y squared and then y cubed and then a normal y. It's all y squared, okay? So they are all like terms. That's why we can add them up. So we're going to start with a -3. We add 2, that gives us -1. And we add another 1, and then we get, what do we get? -1. Okay, let's do this bit by bit. -3y squared plus 2y squared gives us -1y squared plus y squared. So we have a -y squared plus y squared. Blessings, thank you. I see the answer in the chat. This is such a silly, long question. And look here, we get 0. So this 0 might look insignificant, but let me tell you, boys and girls, you will be getting a mark for the 0 itself and at least 2 marks for your working. So this is a 3-mark question that turns out to be 0, the answer, okay? So make sure that you know how to get 0, even if the answer is that simple. Let me scroll down. Okay, before I scroll down, anybody that's unsure about what I did here, in the chat, if there's a question about this, you are more than welcome to raise your hand as well, please. If I missed something, if I did something wrong, I'd love for you to now also show me and correct me so that I don't keep on going. Bali's thinking I did something wrong. Bali, can we unmute you? Ask to unmute. And then you chat to me, Mbali.
So no, I'm just confused. How did the 1 turn into a 0, sir?
Okay, so I'm gonna go a step back. I'm gonna erase a few things that I did here, and then I'll show you exactly that, because Mbali, I know that you're not the only one out there wondering. Okay. So tell me, a coefficient. We all know what a coefficient is. That's the number standing in front of a unknown value. So here the coefficient is 3. Here the coefficient is -2. Sorry, here it's also -2. And here the coefficient is -2 again. And what's my coefficient here? If a coefficient is not given, Mbali, if it's blank, if there's no coefficient given, did I lose you, Mbali? Are you still there? Can we chat to you again? If my coefficient is not given, if it doesn't show anything, Mbali, I did ask to unmute, tell me. What is it then? What can you already assume it is? It's coming in the chat. Mbali, I can't get you unmuted now, but it's coming in the chat. It's 1. So we know that if nothing is shown, this is a 1. So we have a 1y squared negative, and we have a 1y squared positive. We subtract them from each other. We come together, meet each other halfway, and then we find 0. So I think what threw you off here is the fact that the 1 had a coefficient and the 1 did not have a coefficient. But let's always remember, when a coefficient is not given, when there's no coefficient in front, it's as good as saying 1. Okay, we don't always put the 1 in. So it's negative 1y squared plus 1y squared. That gives us 0. Okay, I'm going to take one more question. Nomki. Ask to unmute. There we go. Nomki, what's your question? Did I do anything wrong?
Sir, like, why do we remove the negative that was in front of the y?
Which negative? Why did we remove the negative?
Yes, like in the second term, it's a negative y times the negative 2. Why do we remove the negative?
Okay, negative y times negative 2. So what I did there is I left this first, this one here, this negative I left here. Okay, and then I first worked with only the y and what's inside of the bracket. That gave me this negative 2y. Okay, then I had to multiply my bracket out so that I can further my sum. And then I had to multiply these negatives in. And we know that when we multiply negative with negative, we get a positive, and that's why here it turned into positive. Are we agreed on that?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You understand now?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Good, excellent. All right, I think we are ready to go to the next one. If there's any further uncertainty about this, please refer to the chat. Teacher Yolanda will help you there.
Yes, sir, I'm here, guys.
Good. So these hands, please, 3 questions in the chat, and then you put your hands down. Thank you so much. B, guys, here we have a bit more complicated situation inside of the bracket, but give yourself a second, take a breath, and try this one, please. I'm giving you another 2 minutes for this one. Let's go. Malule is saying she can't see the screen. Malule, let teacher Yolanda just give you a few tips to maybe sort it out, and then teacher Yolanda, please refer to me if it is me that should connect and disconnect and reconnect.
Okay, no, I'll sort them privately, so we'll figure it out. Thank you.
Cool, thanks. Okay, Sia is saying Sia is lost in the last step. So please, guys, continue with B that I'm showing on the screen. I'm just going to explain to Sia without going back. Sia, in the last step, we have negative 1y squared, and we have positive 1y squared. Now, because the y squared are both the same, we call them like terms, so we can add and subtract them from each other. And it's just as good as saying 1 minus 1. Okay, that's why the answer turns into 0. Because the terms are like, we can say, we can add and subtract them from each other. So negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And like I said, because the terms are like, we can add and subtract them from each other. All right, 1 minute to go. We are halfway. Let's lower these hands. Nomki and Mamelu, please lower your hands. I'm drawing a little side note here so long, something that you are familiar with. Just want to remind you all about this. BODMAS. Good. To remind you all of BODMAS, while some of you are still finishing up, BODMAS shows you the order in which we do calculations, in which we do sums. B, we started B, brackets. We always do our brackets first. Those who listened when I did the first 2A, the first question, the first simplification, I did my brackets first. Then we look at anything squared. The O stands for order. Anything with an order. A square is an order. A 3 is an order, a cube to the power of 3. So we look at brackets first. We get rid of the brackets. Then we multiply where we need to, our orders. Division, we divide. After that, we multiply. And at the very last, like you saw, I did here, we add and subtract, addition and subtraction. All right, I think our few seconds are now depleted for the sum. I'm going to start. Okay, BODMAS says we have to do our brackets first. Let's get rid of our brackets. Now, we have this, let me get my highlighter again. We have this 3x directly adjacent to a bracket. When it's directly adjacent, it means we need to multiply the x, the 3, with the first term, and we will then get an answer. And then step 2, we're going to multiply what's outside the bracket, directly adjacent to, we're going to multiply with the next term. So if we multiply 3x with x squared, we will get in the chat, let's get that in the chat, boys and girls, 3x multiplied with x squared. Three x not squared again, it's cubed. 3x cubed. 3x cubed. Oh goodness, I say cubed and I write squared. Silly. Good. When we multiply now, be careful. I'm going to look specifically in the chat for your sign. If I multiply 3x with the last number in my bracket, what am I going to get? 3x multiplied by the last term in my bracket. Sinyana is giving me the correct answer. Is it just Sinyana in class today? Ufanisa is giving me the wrong answer. Tando is giving me the right answer. Morgan, Chloe, that's all correct. Thank you so much. And that is enough. Remember that this negative will go with the term. All right. That's why we will get negative 3x. There's no x in this highlighted term. That's why the x is not changing. The 1 also is not going to make any difference to the 3. It's basically just my sign that is changing. Let's carry on. We can leave that negative, the next negative as it is. Now we will be sitting again with this 4x squared directly adjacent to a bracket. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to multiply with the first term. What's outside of the bracket? We multiply with the first term in the bracket and then with the second term in the bracket. Then we will get 4 times 6. What's 4 times 6, guys? 24. Good. 24. Nothing is changing my x, so that remains the same. 24x squared. Now, what is my final term going to be? My final term, guys, if you made this mistake before, please make sure to not make this mistake again. This is a negative x. That negative inside the bracket now goes with the last term. So what is my answer going to be? It has to be a negative answer. Remember, I did not use my negative yet. This negative, I'm not using at this moment. I left it here. I'm not multiplying out my negative yet. Good. The right answers are coming in now. It's going to be negative 4x cubed. Good. Let's see what we have then. Now we need to type me that sentence, please. What do we need to do now? Before we can start adding and subtracting and whatever else, we multiplied what we had to, we divide what we had to, there weren't anything. What are we going to do now? It's not in BODMAS. It's not in BODMAS. It's something that we learn in algebra. Yes, like terms, but what about like terms? We need to group like terms together. Well done. That's what we're going to do. So we have if I can be fancy, I know you guys are used to very high standards because teacher Sam is super cool with her tablet or whatever she uses. So I'm trying my best. We have in yellow.
Sorry, teacher, you go to disturb. Do we perhaps have brackets between the 24x squared minus 4x cube? Can we have brackets there maybe, because we haven't multiplied the minus inside?
Yes, we haven't multiplied the minus. I forgot about my brackets. Let's put that in.
Yes, thank you. It's just so that we can understand.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you.
Putting my brackets in. Okay, my mistake, guys. Thank you, teacher Yolanda. Those brackets. Now, before we group the like terms, let's just get these brackets out of the way again. I'm going to have 3x, the rest stays the same. 3x to the power of 3 minus 3x. That stays the same. Now we're going to get these brackets out of the way. My negative 24x squared. And then another negative multiplied by negative. And then that's going to be a positive. Well done. Good. Now we can group the like terms together. And as I was trying to highlight for my life, we have a cubed term and we have another cubed term. And let me take my pink. We have this one, just plain x, and we have x squared. So there's not going to be a lot of addition and subtraction to do because we cannot add or subtract unlike terms. The only thing that we're going to be adding is the cubed terms. And let's do that then. And then we have our answer. 4x cubed plus 3x cubed is going to give us 7x cubed negative minus 24x squared. I'm just changing the order here. Minus 3x. Okay, so now we have the orders from big to small. Anything unclear about what I did here? This is my final answer. I will be taking questions now. And after this question, I'll have my brain break. Thanks for asking. No questions on this. Okay, good. Let me scroll up to show you the brain break. Oh, wait, there's a hand now. Sabiso. Sabiso. Unjani wena?
I'm okay, sir.
Okay, I'm so happy. How can I help you?
Sir, I wanted to ask, sir, what if, cause here it says 24x squared plus 4x cubed. Why don't we
Yes.
use, why don't, cause there's x, the variables on both sides, why don't you use them? Cause the exponents, cause both of the numbers have exponents.
Okay, so let me show you what I did here. I'm going to make it yellow. I'm going to make it yellow. I'm going to stick with my yellow. It's Tsabiso that I'm talking to. Yes, Tsabiso. Look here what I did. My two yellow terms at the end, I added them together. You can see in this step, 3x cubed, and the other yellow, 4x cubed, I added together, and I got my 7x cubed. The rest of the terms, if I can highlight them for you again, stayed the same. I just put them in a different order, but they stayed the same because there weren't anything, they didn't have any friends, no like terms, no terms like these that I could add them to. So can you see what I did there? Are you still uncertain? Did I not answer your question?
So I see. It's based
see what I
on
did?
which have the exponents, the same exponents or do not have exponents.
Exactly. We can only add like terms, and if a term does not have the same exponent, then it's not like. So we cannot add them. They remain separate till my very final answer. Understood?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Cool. Let's have Sean. Sean Maluleke. Sean Maluleke.
Hello, sir.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent. Thank you. What can I help you with?
Oh, sir, what is the second row for the negative 3x? Don't you times it into the brackets?
Second for the negative 3x. So I
Yes, sir,
already
for-
got that from my bracket. So yeah, I have let's see. Yeah, I have a plain 3x. If you can see my blue pen right on top. And I multiplied
Yes, sir.
that with this negative 1. And that gave me, the two of these gave me then this negative 3x. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So that's what happened there. Are you good?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Guys, time is running so fast. Let's take a sec to do a brain break. Going to scroll up. There's a brain break. Let's have a look at that, see if you can figure it out.
Let's see who's gonna get the answer first, my people. Let's see. The one who gets the answer first is the winner of tonight's quiz. Oh, okay,
Indeed.
Lino. It's okay. We'll go back. Don't worry. We'll go back so that you can take screenshots. Teacher Hugo can help us to take.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that I was supposed to give permission to give screenshots, but we will be running past them again now, and then I will pause for a second so that you guys can give screenshots. Andy, you are sending me a direct message. Please raise your hand in the next question time, or direct your message rather to teacher Yolanda. I cannot take direct messages. Thank you so much, Andy. All right, we have a duck, or not a duck, it's two ducks, okay? I remember these type of brain breaks of teacher Sam. They always confuse us when they give two ducks or only one. So two ducks plus two ducks plus two ducks gives us 24. So to find our answer, we're going to say 24 divided by 3. So we know that the ducks as a pair needs to be 8, 8, 8. Good. Now we can go to all the other ducks and put 8 there because we have already worked this out. Remember that here at the bottom, we only have one duck, so it's going to be the half of 8. So I'm putting here 4. Now we have two ducks multiplied by an otter plus 8 to give us 152. Guys, any guesses for the otters, please? Any guesses for the otters? I'm getting 18. I'm getting 18. Let's see if we multiply 8 with 18, we get 144. Then we still have to add another 8. It gives us 152. So this otter, these two otters are definitely going to be 18. Now we can go wherever we see these other otters, we can go and put 18 because we have worked this out already. Now we have 18 multiplied by something plus 18 is going to give us 234. I'm having guesses coming in, say 42. Although I guess it's not guesses, it's probably very finely calculated already.
Yes, and that's the correct answer. Well done, guys.
Okay, yes, okay, good. For the cow, anybody still with me for the cow? What will we get for 2 cows? Okay. It's going to be 12. Now, at the bottom, we only have 1 cow. The answer is 26. Thank you for the final answer so long. Let's see, at the bottom, we only have 1 cow. That's going to be the half of 12. Now we have 18 plus 6 times 4. We cannot do the plus first because of BODMAS. We have to do the multiply first. 6 multiplied by 4 is going to give us 24 plus 18 is going to give us 42. Well done to all my clever people out there.
Well done, guys.
Good. Let me scroll down again, and then we fit in another sum for today. Today is quiz day. So you guys are more than welcome to teach Yolanda if you want to maybe pop the quiz in so long. Those that want to or have to leave, you are more than welcome to take your quiz, say your goodbyes and leave so long. I will be doing at least another 5 minutes over 6. Oh, wait, we can't. Am I right, teacher Yolanda? Sorry, we can't do 5 minutes
Yes.
over.
So we ran out of time because we have to jump into the next class.
We have to jump into the next class. Okay.
Yeah.
So have a look at these some guys. I'm going to just then not do another one for today. Let me just pause here so that you guys can take the screenshots. I'm going to put
Please take screenshot, guys.
there. We have both there with your nice BODMAS. Take a screenshot of that. And then that will be it for today. Teacher
guys.
Yolanda, yeah, do you want to pop in? I'm going to take maybe another question and then I'll go catch you in the other class again.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me just make you a host because I'm the host. So
Oh,
if I
okay.
leave, yeah.
Okay, I'll see you in the other class in a sec. Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
I have Morgan. Morgan, what's your question? Hit me with your best. Morgan, what's your question? Hit me with your best.
Hello, sir. I'd like to ask for question B. In brackets, you had said is x when you are timesing what you call numbers in brackets and there's a minus, does it automatically turn into a plus?
Okay, I just muted you again, Morgan. I listened to your question and then I muted you again. Otherwise, there's a lot of echo. So what happens is basically it does automatically turn into, because what you subconsciously do is you multiply the signs with each other. When a sign is not shown, it's presumed positive. So that's why we have positive multiplied by negative, for example, and then we would get a negative. Or if there's two negative signs shown, then it's negative multiplied by negative, which gives us a positive. So yes, Morgan, to answer your question, it does go automatically. Next question. Siamta.
Good evening, sir.
Siamtanda. Good evening. How can I help you?
Siamtanda.
Yeah, boss. Siamtanda. How can I help you?
Sir, I'm still lost at A. Like, okay, well, if I remember very well, we can only like subtract the exponents when you are dividing.
Okay. You are correct, but we're not subtracting exponents. We're subtracting terms with like exponents. Does that make sense? You will see here that none of these exponents were subtracted. We only subtracted like terms, but the exponents remain the same when we started subtracting.